Hello, this is Tola from Trifold Productions with another Blender quick tip. And in this quick tip, I'm going to show you how you can import buildings or make buildings in Blender fairly easily by using the Urbanic Building Generator Addon. It's not free, you got to pay for it, but for the price, it's not that bad. The developer has discounted it. It used to be $39.99, but he's discounted it by 35%, so now it's $29.99. So pretty much just get it when you can, which is at this point in time. I'll leave a link of it below the video so you guys can download it yourself and check it out. But it works in Blender 3.1 all the way up to 4.2. It renders in Eevee and in cycles, and obviously Eevee, or actually cycles, is better because of the shadows and the texturing. And these buildings they're highly customizable. The installation process is a little bit different, and I'll show you how to do it once you've downloaded the. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze in a few minutes. It's the weather changing. Hold on for a second. I'm going to pause the video and I'll come back. I'm back now. Pretty hefty sneeze there. But once you've downloaded the zip files, because there'll be two. One will be the add-on itself, and the other one will be the asset library. And for the asset library, you unzip it into a separate folder. And then with the launcher, the add-on itself, keep it in the zip folder. I'm using 3.4 myself for this tutorial, but go to Edit, Preferences, Install, and navigate to where you've downloaded that zip file. Click on Install Add-on, and then it's activated. Let me type in Building, or Urbanic, I guess. Urbanic, yeah, and put a check in that box. And now to install the asset library, which is this one, after you've unzipped it, you can use WinRAR or any kind of unzipping software that you have. And you go to File Paths, and you scroll down here and you click on that plus sign. When you do that, you get a blank slot here. You just click on a folder, and then navigate to where you've unzipped it. For me, you can just, if you have your window already open, just left click, right click, copy, minimize that. Click in there, press Control V to paste, enter, and then click on this and accept, and it's activated. And it's added that library to the other libraries that you have in Blender. And we're going to split our window up in half here. It's already split up, so we just have to kind of expand this part. And we're going to click on this icon here and go to Asset Library or Asset Browser. Click on Current and Urbanic, or URBG, and here are all the assets that are contained inside of that folder. Now, when it comes to the add-on itself, it's on the right-hand side of your UI in Blender, which is the toolbar. For me, it should be right there. And we're going to get rid of this cube. Let's get rid of everything in our scene. Actually, just the cube and the camera. Let's get rid of those two things. So we'll still need the light source, so delete that. And in order to import these building assets to your scene, just click and drag. Now you can see that you have some basic shapes here that you can use if you want to start from scratch, so to speak. Because all of these buildings here, they're actually basic geometry shapes. They're not, it looks, because the developer did a really good job in terms of texturing the buildings. And I think they used geometry nodes for this, because when you go into edit mode, these are just basic squares or rectangles. That's all they are. These are the basic shapes here. But let's left click and drag one of these buildings into our scene here. Let's do this one. Left click and drag. And that's how you import your building into your scene. And we're going to kind of change the world view, because right now it's kind of a grayish color. We're going to look at this in cycles. So let's click on our render tab there. Turn from Eevee to cycles, from CPU to GPU when you have a strong enough computer. And we're going to kind of change the lighting here, because right now it's just gray. Click on our world settings, left click on the color tab, and we're going to make this brighter. For me, it's going to be a sky blue color. I'm going to minimize this a bit so we can see the scene a little bit better. So we have this. Now let's click on that icon, see how our building looks. And there's our building. Now we have our settings here, but in order for these settings to actually work, you have to click on Sync. And now the settings can be activated. And it looks good. Like I said before, this is just basic square, and I'll show you I'll prove it to you. Let me click on that. Go back to our basic shading there and click on tab, and that's the shape. That's it. So this helps with rendering the scenes a whole lot faster. Let's go get out of edit mode by pressing tab again. We have our building back. And let's see what these parameters look like. We're going to click on that icon there to change the viewport. And you can turn the snow on and off. It's got snow, rain, water, edge accurate. These two help, especially this one. This helps with, it renders pretty fast as it is, as I mentioned earlier. But when you click on that option there, it renders even faster. So it doesn't take too long to render. But let's click on snow, turn that on, and you can see it's added snow to our building here. And you can have more control over the way the snow lays on our building by clicking on that arrow. And from the drop down, you have options, more options here for snow, wet surfaces, so on and so forth. Let's turn off the snow. Let's turn on the rain. Let's see what the rain looks like. Left click on that. And as you look at your scene, you really can't see any difference when it comes to any raindrops being on the building. But if we click on our light source, let's click on our light there. Where's our lights? Let's click on our move gizmos, pull our light out, and then pull our light up into the scene and closer to the building. And as we let it render out, pull this up a little bit more. If we look on our window, you can see the raindrops on the sides of the building. And like I said before, the developer really did a good job with the textures, because if you look at the windows themselves, they're not like perfectly clear windows. The windows, like they are in real life, they're stained. They have like smudges on them. If you look at this, it's got smudges on the windows. That's why the reflection of the light on the window isn't as perfect. It's not a perfect light reflection. You can see splats on it, streaks on it, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty cool. Let's turn on the water. Let's see what that does. That adds more water to our scene, especially to the roof. If we turn the water off, the roof is dry. Turn it back on, the roof is wet. And another thing that they really did a good job with is when it comes to the lights. Now it says lights when it comes to the streets and buildings. Now the street lights, this is an asset library. So if you get the other assets from the developer, which would be street lights and so on and so forth, you can use this to affect the street lights in your scene. But we don't have that. We just have the building generator. So this does not apply to this, but the lights in the building do. Now, right now, only half the lights in the building are on. If we click on this option, press 0, enter, all the lights go off. Click in here again, press 1, enter. Now all the lights come on. So that's pretty cool. And you can control the light intensity also. Right now, they're kind of bright. Let's zoom in a little bit to a window here. And the interior parts are, well, they're nicely done. They're not, low poly images or parallax images. They're actually well done images on the inside of our building. So right now we want to lower the intensity of the lights in the building. Click on this, 0.5, enter, and it's dimmer. So this is a really well done add-on, and it does more than that too. Let's go into edit mode with our building, because I want to show you guys how you can actually modify the buildings even further. So I'm going to go to solid shading here, click on the building, press tab. Like I said before, these are just geometric shapes, just basic shapes. And if we click on the face select mode, hold down shift on our keyboard, left click, left click, left click, left click, press E on our keyboard, enter, click on our move gizmo and pull this out to extrude that out. Watch what happens. Tab. We've added another unit to the building, and it works seamlessly with the rest of the building. And all the buildings are that way. So, I mean, this is a really, really great add-on that does a lot when it comes to building generation. Generating buildings. Some of these buildings you can actually modify differently. Let's pull in. Let me see. Let's pull in a building that has AC units attached to them. And I think it's this one. Let me pull this in. Okay, this has units on it. Like I said before, you have to click on sync to have these parameters work. So let's click on that and sync. The warning comes up. I don't know why that happens, but it comes up. When we click on that building, if you scroll down even further, you'll see it has air conditioners. If we increase the amount of air conditioners, press 1 on keyboard, enter, the number of air conditioning units increases on the side of the building. Reduce it, 0.5, the same thing. So yeah, this is the building generator add-on. It's like an introduction to it. I've covered a lot of it, but like I said before, this is a really good add-on, highly customizable. You can add wings or different parts to the buildings easily by just clicking on parts of it in edit mode, extruding it, and it expands the building, adds more units to it, and it fits seamlessly with the original shape of the building. And it does the snow and the water and so on and so forth. So yeah, you guys should download it, check it out. It's a great add-on. Works fast, renders fast, works great. And that's today's Blender quick tip. Hope you guys try it out. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, adios.